Hi, my name is Justin. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. So, growing up in an area that was considered lower middle class, I saw a lot of opportunities out there educationally that I just couldn't afford and that my peers just couldn't afford, like college trips or tutoring after school, test prep, things like that. And so, my idea is the Elim Community Center. And what we want to do is provide educational equity to students who are unable to afford on their own. And so, our mission statement is to help our community, help low-income students who want to succeed educationally by going to them and providing free academic resources. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have elementary, middle, and high school all attending, but we're going to have it look a little bit different depending on what your age range is. So for elementary school students, we're going to help them with homework. And then after homework, we're going to help them engage in social activities so that they can learn soft skills and teamwork, because that's one of the top job skills required right now in the industry. And so the second thing we're going to do for middle school students is we're going to continue helping them with their homework, but we're also going to introduce to them AP materials as well as PSAT materials. And so this way they can have an upper hand by the time they get to high school. But once they get to high school, we feel like they should become proficient enough to complete homework on their own. And so we're not going to make it something structured. It's going to be optional for them, but we're going to focus more on SAT and ACT prep, as well as something I like to call the big project. And so the big project is something really that's going to help them stand out on a college application. There'll be two options. One of them will be community center wide, and the other one can be individual. And so the community center wide one will be something annual, like restoring a nursing home or volunteering at a nursing home, or even a beach cleanup once a week. Just something like that to help them stand out. And something individual would be whatever they choose. So some students, I would say, could maybe entrepreneur a business while they're in high school. That's been done before, whether it be something small like landscaping or developing an app. And because of this, I want to implement a mentorship program as well, so that these students have some guidance. And I know plenty of kids that I'm graduating with who would love to be mentors to high school and middle school students, and so I'm not worried about that. Now, that's my idea, but I know a large issue that some people might have with this is that it's a nonprofit, and so I've come up with ways to fund it. The first one is our annual fundraiser, and so we'll charge around $100 to $200 a plate, and most of that money will go towards the community center after we cover the cost. The second thing that we're going to do is government grants. And so with these government grants, there are plenty available for educational community centers like this, as well as low-income areas. And I know they're hard to get, but it's not something that will be hard to prove, considering that our goal is actually just to help provide educational equity. The third one is going to be partnerships with large corporations. Hopefully, that would be great. This would probably be our biggest source of income, second to the annual fundraiser. And so we'll have partnerships with large corporations, and we'll offer them like a room dedicated to the company, like a library or a study space that'll be named after their corporation, or an individual if they donate that large of an amount. The last one would be alumni from the from the community center deciding to give back. This will be a much smaller part, but we just want them to feel involved. And so we know from the U.S. Census that there's a need for this, because a lot of our students are in these areas. So it shows here that Black and Hispanic students are overrepresented in these high poverty schools. And so Blacks make up only 15% of students, but they make up over 42% of students in high poverty areas. And so we know that there's a need for it, because we see, according to IBIS World, that the number one reason, or the number one access to tutoring and after school activities is excess revenue. And we know that students in these areas don't have that. And so the upper hand we'll have over a place like Mathnasium is affordability, and somewhere like the Boys and Girls Club will have an upper hand over is because we'll really hone in and focus. And so if you have any questions, I'd love to hear back from you and ask any questions. Thank you.